He said one day you'll leave this world behind, so live a life you will remember. That was a song called The Nights by Avicii, and looking back, I always looking at the words, you listen to the song and sometimes you just never hear the words, and then there's that one moment where you'll listen to it again and you'll just hear the words and you'll be like, holy shit, he is so right. Hey guys, what is up? It is Millie, and today I'm going back to a trend I did last year, but I'm going to tweak it a little. I am going to redo and start my Talk with Millie Tuesdays. These are not going to just be nutrition, health advice, but it's also going to be life advice. I have learnt so much in the last, I would say probably 4 years since I left school. I've created situations that I've put myself through, and they've been really hard and really difficult sometimes, and there've been some really great ones and there've been some pretty negative ones. However, each and every one has taught me how to become a better version of myself, and also how to appreciate myself, my life, and everything so much more. So I wanted to start this with introducing a Talk with Millie Tuesday. They will be about health, nutrition, life, anything you guys pretty much want me to talk about. Obviously within the lines, there's certain things I just don't know about, or I'm just not really that interested with. And obviously this is going to be not just a talk, it is going to be discussions. So once, you know, if you are interested in these kind of videos and you do want to watch them, again, this is, if you like the video that I'm posting about, absolutely watch it. Right in the discussion, again, this is a discussion. My views are my views, and it is supposed to be a friendly platform for people to come and express their views. It is not something that people should be forcing their views on. Again, I will respect each and every one of each and every one of your opinions. Again, everyone has new perspectives, different perspectives, and that is 100% okay. You are allowed to share your perspective. I do not want people to be throwing each other down because of their own views, because again, everyone has very different backgrounds, everyone has learnt different things, and that should be. And also, this is supposed to be a growth channel. I will learn things from you guys can learn things from me, and vice versa, you guys can learn things from each other, and that's what we need to be doing. Like, people will say certain things and you'll be like, that kind of makes sense, or some people will say something and you'll be like, okay, like that's great, I respect your opinion, I just don't really believe in that things. And you can say that, or you don't have to say that, but it's supposed to be a discussion. It's not supposed to be me just telling you guys everything, because again, I don't know everything, and I am very young. I'm really talking about what I've experienced, and some people may experience very different things, and it's 100% okay to discuss this. So without that said, I would love it if you guys subscribe to this channel and really just liked this video, because that will let me know that you kind of like this idea. I will be doing this. You don't have to watch every single Talk with Millie, because again, there's certain things that you're going to be interested in and certain things that you're going to find more interesting. So you can only pick the ones that if you find interesting, or maybe if you just want to throw yourself out there and pick something that you're like, oh, maybe I'll watch that, maybe it'll be interesting, you can learn something new, there's always a day. So yeah, without further ado, let's jump into it. I also have this notebook here which has some notes, because I always go off track because I'm such a talkative person, so that's fun. Also I need to make sure that I do a warning. Obviously my channel, these Talk with Millies, they will be sometimes a little bit triggering to people who are still going through their own kind of self-identity, or have been going through certain issues with certain topics. So obviously I will put a trigger warning before every sort of video, because it is important. If you are still going through a tough time with whatever problem or issue that you're dealing with, please be aware. I will always talk about, this video is going to be about life and about, you know, creating the best life that you can for yourself. So I don't think there's too much triggering stuff with it, But if you're struggling and you're in like kind of like feeling like a little bit, always I say, talk to your therapist. Yes, there is no problem. I will always say, if you can't deal with what I'm talking about, obviously talk to your therapist, like grow, you know, heal yourself in your own way, and then maybe come back to this video, or maybe come back to a video that you previously couldn't do, because again, triggers are all fine and okay if you're going through the journey, but we have to heal. I couldn't watch some videos I could, like when I was, you know, in my worst times, but it's about healing yourself so then you can deal with those triggers in a positive or more acceptable way, instead of, you know, letting it trigger you to become things. Or you don't have to watch it, you don't have to watch it by all means, but I just need to make sure I put that out there, because some people still are in that stage where they just can't watch those kind of videos. So yes, these videos will be about 15 to 30 minutes long, depending on how much I need to talk about it. You can watch as much as you want, you don't have to watch all of it. But it's kind of like one of those ones, it's kind of like a little podcast, but I didn't really want to do a podcast. It's kind of like those ones where you can put the video on and you can just walk around doing all your housework, or you can just sit on the train and just listen to it. Honestly, do whatever you need to do. But yes, let's get into the video. Okay, so, alrighty. And sorry if my hair, I need to actually wash it, so we're just gonna leave it like that. So, the first topic I'm going to talk about is creating the life. I feel like this is super down and I just cannot see myself. All right, the first topic we're going to be talking about is creating the life that you want. This is such a interesting topic, because I think that we think about it, but we don't actually talk about it, and we don't allow ourselves to kind of embrace it in a way. I feel like some people are so much better than others at this. Like, some people can just do so well with creating their life and they don't have to think about it, and I give reps to those people because they are so great. I haven't been one of those people, and so for me this is something that, you know, has been a really big challenge for me, so I do need to talk about. And I think being conscious of what you're doing every single day to create the life that you want is something that I think a lot of people need to want to learn and want to find some way to do it. So my first little thing is, what are you doing day to day? This is so important, because I feel like every single day we make these choices and we decide to get up, go and do this, go and do that, go and do this, follow our day through, and sometimes we find ourselves losing our days, losing our time during the days, and we end up working on things that we just don't find interesting, don't find exciting, don't find, and obviously that's within reason. Sometimes, you know, I look at my dad and he's like, you know, got a really high intense job, and there's times where I'm like, oh, how's work? And he's like, oh shit, like, you know, but he loves his job. Like he doesn't love the place, like obviously within reason, but he's so interested in what he does. Like, he loves what he does, but work is just sometimes a nuisance and things like that. So obviously, like, what are you doing during your days? What are you doing in this moment that is, you know, because every single day you are shaping your future. So let's say, for example, you wake up and you wake up pretty late because you go to bed super late because you just are spending your time on TikTok and everything like that, and you know, you go to bed 3 a.m, wake up 12 p.m, and then basically you get yourself dressed and you pretty much do whatever you need to do during the day, but then you're just like, you know, always being like, oh, I'm complaining about always going to bed late, you know, but I'm never actually taking action and being like, I can complain as much as I can, but this is my choice. Whatever you choose to do during the day, it's your choice, it's your responsibility. And I know that so many people can find this difficult. I found this difficult to actually put everything in my responsibility, that it's my responsibility to get up and do what I want to do during the day. If I want to go and sit on the couch and watch TV, that's my choice, and that's my responsibility to take that and to own up for that, because that's no one else's fault. Like, even if someone hurt me, even if someone made me feel bad about myself, I chose to react to that in a negative way. And that's 100% fine if you react negatively about that, or you let it affect certain parts of your life. But you have to take responsibility. That's not that other person's fault. They hurt you, and that's, yes, that's not nice and that's not okay. And like, under any circumstance, that should not be the case. But you chose to, everything after that person, whatever that person said, that was a detachment from them. And you chose to take that situation and turn it into something that, and every moment after that situation or that interaction that you had that was positive or negative, whatever you did after that, that was your responsibility. That was your choice to live those moments either positively or negatively, and you have to own up to that. The one piece of advice I can give if you want to live the best life you can is to own up to that every single day. I will interact with people who like me, who don't like me, who will, you know, build me up. Some people will hurt me and make it, and you know, other things will like leave me. People will leave me. But it's how I choose to let that affect me. It's all about that mindset. If you let it affect you and you let that derail you for the rest of the day, like not the day, but the rest of your next few months, which is what I did after high school, and blame those people for your actions, you will continuously go through this cycle, because you will stop letting yourself admit to yourself, they hurt me. They hurt me, and that really hurt my feelings. But it was my choice and it was my responsibility, and it was my fault. It wasn't my fault. It was my responsibility and my choice to let it affect me this way. Just let that sit in. It was my choice and my responsibility for the consequences that I let happen to me. So for example, for me, after I left school, a lot of my friends ghosted me. And you know, I can say for myself, maybe I aided in that, but I let it affect me so much. I ate, and I ate because it was comforting. I watched TV because it was comforting, and I became into this routine where that's all I did. And I never formed meaningful relationships because I just said, people are going to leave me, so what the hell, I'm not gonna try. And I blamed them for such a long time until I listened to this quote, or I can't remember, but once I was just clicked and I just said, holy shit, every single action I've made after these people, yes, they hurt me, but it's not their fault of what I'm doing now. They have no relation to me now, and I'm still letting them affect me. I'm still letting them, what they did to me, affect me, and I'm doing what I'm doing today. I'm making the worst choices for myself today and making me feel like crap every single day, and that is my choice. That's my responsibility. That's not theirs. They've done. They literally did. They did one thing and that hurt me, and I let it affect the rest of my life, and that was up to me. So what are you doing today? What choices are you making today? Is there any way that you can tweak those choices? Even if you have crap days and even if you're still healing, try and make 1% of the day better. So for example, if you haven't ever moved in the last few months, if you've just been sitting on your couch doing nothing, trust me, I've been there, done that. I get it. Maybe just go for a walk. Go for a walk today, or do something that is going to at least make you feel a little bit better. You know, a few days ago, I basically sat on my couch and was doing work, but also I was watching TV. I'm gonna be very honest with you guys. It was really actually quite sad. The one thing that made me feel better, and I actually said this to my mom yesterday, the one time I actually felt so happy was when I went out to go and get my car from my parents' place. It was sunny, it was beautiful weather, it was gorgeous. And you know, I was singing when I was like, you know, and I went for a walk, and it was the best moment of that whole day. And just me grabbing onto that and feeling that has made every single time saying, God, being outside is so amazing. And if I try to do that almost every single day, even if it's for just 20 minutes, it can really just shape that day. And the more that you just do that and you keep on adding into that, this previous life that you had will be very, like, you'll be like, oh wow, that was really easy to do. Sometimes it's not easy though. It's not easy to heal yourself and to take it into your own responsibility to make new changes during the day and own up to those changes and be like, it's gonna be hard, it's gonna be difficult, but I need to do this for my own health and for my own safety and for my own well-being. So, and this all comes in respect with the growth mindset. I always, for myself, because I still need to learn how to do this, and I think with relationships and in friendships and in your own life, day to day, we need to have a growth mindset, not a fixed mindset. Fixed mindset is basically saying, this is who I am, take it or leave it. And that's great, that's fine. Like, you should love who you are, but also embrace the possibility that you can grow, you can change, your perspectives can change and grow and learn. I think, you know, the power of being in relationships and being in friendships is that you can learn from the other person and you can grow with the other person. You know, if you stop yourself from listening to what they're saying or understanding where they're coming from, and, you know, the fact is that you're going to be stuck in this personality that you had. And I really don't like it when people blame their behavior on their personality. Like, I had this girl one time that said, I'm so sorry, I'm a bitch when I'm really when I'm like really stressed. And I was, you know, I let it slip past. I was like, okay, but I was like, she just made an excuse for her behavior so that she could make herself feel better. If you're being a bitch and you're stressed, and like, we're really set in stone that we don't want to learn from others sometimes, and we want to stick with our, you know, stick with our personality and things like that. Like, I 100%, I'm an overthinker. I think overly about everything. I can sometimes be a control freak. I can sometimes be very, you know, I can, you know, think things over way too much. But if I just tell people that and don't let myself change and don't let myself grow and learn from people, and to really embrace not being overthinking, like pushing myself into circumstances where I have to just do whatever I have to do, like just throw myself into the like river, I will learn how to deal with that and learn how to cope with that. And yeah, I'll still flare up time to time, but I'll grow so much better from that. And this is when I want to say, like, you know, obviously we go through life and some people have a lot more hardships than others. Some people, you know, go through some really shitty things and some horrible things. And some people actually, like, you know, when I look with me and some of the people that I've, you know, seen through when I was 18 and stuff, some people have not dealt with some of the things that, you know, I've dealt with, and some people have, or some people have dealt with more intense things. Again, you don't really know what everyone's dealt with because no one's going to put it on social media. But what I say is that, you know, you are going to have failures in life, and these failures are so good for your growth as well, because they teach you things. Failure is good. Failure you need to have. We have to stop having this idea that we have to strive for perfection, because perfection is never going to happen. Strive that you're going to have failures and you're going to learn from those failures, as well as hardships. You know, I've been through some really shitty times, basically brought on by myself. I can fully say that now. Everything was brought on by myself. Some things wasn't, and I just had to deal with them in that moment, and they were really hard to deal with. And they, you know, made my anxiety to flare up really intensely because I just couldn't take a handle on them. But they've also taught me, like, some of these really, I've had some really like, you know, things that push me in, like, you know, but every single moment, even if they were the worst moments, they've really taught me about life and about myself and how I can, you know, create my life into a positive direction, and learn that, you know, everything is so not set, and you just have to live it. Like, this is life. Life is not, like, always great. Life is not always gonna be amazing. There's gonna be, like, some really hard, shitty times, but if you learn to think about, okay, this is a really hard time, and this is going to be a really struggling time, but there is some positive that comes out of this. It teaches me to grow and to learn something that's new, and to, you know, become a different person after this, and, you know, be grateful for some aspects of my life that I'm, you know, grateful for. Even that's hard to say, even that. And that's how you can heal yourself. You know, as I say, triggers are all fine and good if you're going through your healing journey and you're still struggling with certain things. But at the end of the day, you need to heal, and you need to heal. And we have to stop making account that, you know, like, yes, triggers are there and they're there for a reason, because, you know, some things are really hard to confront yourself with, but you need to heal, because you need to get to a place where you feel okay within yourself and feel, yeah, it still hurts sometimes when I go and see certain films or go and see certain things, but you know, there's still some things that I struggle to watch, because I'm just like, it makes me rethink about certain things. But I'm healing, and I know that it's going to get better. It's not going to get 100% entirely like easy, and I'm not going to like, but I mean, from time to time I'm still going to think about it, but I'm going to at least come up to it. And if it ever happens again, or if I ever get exposed to it again, hopefully because I've healed myself, I'll be able to better approach it and better react to it in that instance.